I'm joined today with Tyler McMurtry from SGI. Tyler, thanks again, as always, for talking with us today.
Great to be here.
So, in November, police in Saskatchewan were on the lookout for suspended licenses and unregistered vehicles as part of the SGI's traffic safety spotlight. First of all, what did police in Saskatchewan find?
Last month, police in Saskatchewan caught 341 people driving while suspended, and also another 558 tickets were issued for people who were driving without a valid registration on their vehicle or trailer. And in addition to that, there were more than 300 tickets issued related to driver's licenses, either people not having a valid driver's license or people driving like a suspended driver driving without with a supervising driver, or other manners of not obeying their license restrictions or endorsements.
And last time we spoke in advance of this traffic safety spotlight, we kind of talked a little bit about kind of some of the reasons why it's not a good thing to be driving with a suspended license or unregistered vehicle. But again, can you just kind of go over some of the main reasons why this is something that SGI is wanting to shed a light on?
Sure. I mean, first of all, it's against the law. If you're suspended from driving, you've been ordered to not drive, and so if you're doing that, you're contravening those orders. People don't get suspended for no reasons. Oftentimes, there are traffic safety issues at play there, whether the suspension is related to impaired driving or other traffic issues that you've caused. There may also be a medical issue at play. There are medical suspensions from driving, which means that a medical professional has told you that your condition does limit your ability to operate that vehicle safely. And sometimes those are temporary, sometimes they're longer term, but it's something that everybody needs to pay attention to. The other issue that we were highlighting, of course, is unregistered vehicles. So if you're driving an unregistered vehicle, it basically means you're driving without insurance. And that's a problem, especially if you get into a collision that you cause. You could be personally on the hook for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars as a result of not having insurance coverage. And unfortunately, we do see several hundred claims denied every year as a result of people driving while they are uninsured. And that's a financial hole that nobody wants to find themselves in.
And when I was looking through the release, also, there was a breakdown of some of the other offenses that people were ticketed for during the past month. And what really stood out to me was there was close to 4,000 tickets issued for speeding or aggressive driving. Is that on par? Is it usually that's kind of the big ticket item? And is that concerning?
Well, yeah, every like speeding tickets are the most commonly issued traffic infraction that we see, and those numbers that we see every month can range from 3,000, 3,500 to upwards of 8,000 per month. Now, what we saw in November is we saw the start of sort of the winter slowdown, and when the winter conditions hit, that naturally forces people to reduce their speed, and so we did see that number being much lower than the few months that we've seen prior. But you'll recall that in November, winter came a bit early, so that might be behind that, and we see those speeding numbers drop a bit over the winter months. Now, what we want to emphasize, though, is it's not just about the posted speed limit when you're talking about winter driving. Sometimes you have to drive slower and much slower than the speed limit if the conditions call for that. And in fact, today we're seeing a blast of winter weather hitting much of southern Saskatchewan, and that's going to mean people are driving slower, and that's appropriate for the conditions.
And what are police in Saskatchewan focusing on for the traffic safety spotlight in December?
So for December, we're talking about impaired driving, which we do every month. It's part of our holiday tradition with SGI and law enforcement across the province. Now, of course, this Christmas is going to look a little different. People will not be gathering in parties to the extent that they normally will be. Family gatherings will be smaller or non-existent in line with the public health recommendations. But we still know that people do consume impairing substances during this time of year, as they do throughout the year. And we want them to realize that the police enforcement of impaired driving That's not changing, even if a lot of other things are changing this time of year. For this particular year in 2020, the new normal that we're all experiencing. So we want people to understand that they're still going to see those high visibility check stops. Police are still going to be engaging in other types of enforcement activities designed to catch impaired drivers. So if you are out of your home at any point during this holiday season and you are impaired, you need to find a safe way home. And that doesn't involve getting behind the wheel yourself. Either call a sober friend or family member, or avail yourself of any of the other options that you have, whatever is available in your community, whether it's taxi, bus, rideshare, or there's always staying the night as well if that's an option available to you if you're at somebody's house.
All right, Tyler McMurtry from SGI, thanks again for taking some time to talk with us today.
Hey, and all the best over the holiday season to you, Jace, and to all of your viewers as well.